This sequence from Genndy Tartakovsky's Sym-Bionic Titan is certainly my favorite of the series. In it, high school cheerleader Kimmy Meisner walks home after sharing an electric first kiss with the alien robot Octus, whom she knows as fellow high schooler Newton Lunas. As she walks, she plays on her MP3 the 80s synth-pop hit Space Age Love Song by A Flock of Seagulls. Her walk becomes a spirited dance that's matched by an ongoing battle between the namesake Titan and a tentacled Mutrati creature. It occurs at the end of episode 10, Lessons in Love, which is the halfway point of the first and sadly the only season of Sym-Bionic Titan. It appears to be one of the most popular episodes of the show, perhaps due to the clip in question or the focus on the relationships of Kimmy and Octus and Lance and Alana. More likely, it's because of this hilarious and decidedly un-Cartoon Network dance scene.
No!
Regardless, this is the only clip from Sym-Bionic Titan I've ever frequented, and it's the episode that I played for my friends when the show finally became streamable. And I think it's because Kimmy's walk home is emblematic of the show's greatest strength. The combination of Genndy's impeccable visual storytelling and the powerful archetypal setting of high school. High school are two powerful words that ring in most all of our ears. This scene is about that familiar feeling of adolescence and those potent moments that we've all experienced or witnessed, whether in real life or through well-known high school fiction. A first kiss, maybe your first kiss, probably made you act a little bit like a jubilant Kimmy swinging around a streetlight. And maybe you too had to go about your business while hiding through an entranced look, all the buzzing in your mind and exhilaration in your heart. Or I guess robot core? And the use of Space Age Love Song, a track from the early 80s, supports this collective sense of high school adolescence by creating an homage to and thus furthering the legacy of previous and iconic impressions of teenagehood. You know, despite all the praise Genndy has earned for his work with action, suspense, and humor, some of his most successful moments for me have come when he's abandoned tense or intense or sometimes pathetic options for refreshing moments of characters feeling something as tender, sweet, or enigmatic as life itself.
Everybody loves somebody sometime. Everybody.
Now, one could argue that Kimmy's walk is without purpose. The episode could have had its kiss, its fight, and resolved with the defeat of the day's monster and the establishment of a new relationship. Though for me, and maybe Mr. Tartakovsky, the fights with the Mutrati creatures and the more familiar plot beats that the characters perform in order to win the day are as meaningless as the dance. Aided by Genndy's successful choreography, composition, and editing, Kimmy's walk delivers on the adage that it's about the journey and not the destination. It's not about what happened, it's about how it felt. And this feels wonderful. It strikes into me, and I remember it. And that means as much as anything. For this reason, I opine Sym-Bionic Titan's lack of a second season and series finale isn't so painful because we don't know the end of the story, but because we are without more moments like this one. And for the record, I wouldn't quite say the same about Samurai Jack, not after getting that 5th season that we did. Anyways, the end of Lessons in Love with its unfettered, unnecessary expression of teenage thrill is a most perfect example of Genndy's undervalued and softer tendencies in his work. It's also an independent music video of sorts that tells its own story and provides viewers with everything they need to know about Sym-Bionic Titan, why it was charming, why it was fun, and why it had to be about high school. And aliens, and giant mechs.